Okay, so for metals to be found in the Earth's crust uncombined, this must mean they are unreactive. And the metal in this list, which is the least reactive of the metals, is gold. So that will be found as gold on the Earth's surface. Give two advantage of recycling rather than extracting. So if we recycle, what we're going to do there is we will preserve the ore in the Earth's crust. We're not going to use that ore up is a key thing as well. And it also means that reduces energy demands of extracting metals. That takes a lot of energy in order to extract a metal, and it therefore reduces that energy requirement. Okay, an ore of iron is mostly made up from iron Fe2O3, iron oxide. Iron can be extracted by heating it with carbon. Balance the equation to show the reaction that is taking place. So what I'm going to do here, let's put down in the middle the elements that are involved in this reaction. Okay, and what we're going to do is count the number of elements on each side. So if I use my laser to point out for you here, there is 2 times 2, so there's 4 lots of iron. So I've got 4 lots of iron. Let's just check the oxygens. I've got 2 times 3, so that's 6 lots of oxygen. And at the moment, I've just got 1 carbon because here there's just 1 carbon. Do the same on this side. So at the moment, I've only got 1 iron. I have got 1 carbon and 2 oxygens. So 1 carbon and 2 oxygens. So I want to make my iron correct. I'm going to have to put a big 4 in front of this, and that gives me 4 irons. If I want to get 6 oxygens, then what I need to do is put a 3 in front of this, and that gives me 3 times 2 is 6 oxygens, but it also gives me 3 lots of carbon. And therefore, I'm going to have to put a 3 in front of that to also give me 3 lots of carbon. So my answer is 3 carbons, 4 ions, and 3 carbon dioxides. If you do all that, you get 1 mark. Most copper ores are described as low grade. And here we've got 5,000 kilograms of copper ore, and it's found to contain 42.5 grams of copper. Calculate the percentage of copper in here. So what I'm going to do here is you do 42.5, and we divide that by 5,000, and then we multiply by 100 to convert that into a percentage. So let's do that on my calculator. Divided by 5,000 times by 100, and I'm getting an answer here of 0.85, and that would be percent. Marks wise, there are 2 marks available. So 1 mark if you got this bit right, and then a mark for your final answer. So extraction of lead. Lead oxide is heated with carbon, and there's the equation. Use this to show what has been oxidized in this reaction. So if something's been oxidized, let's just remind ourselves what this means. This means we are gaining oxygen. So if we look at the equation, you can see here that carbon doesn't have oxygen, but now carbon has oxygen. So going from here to here, we're adding oxygen, and therefore carbon has been oxidized. So to get the marks, we need to say which ones have been oxidized. So carbon for 1 mark, and explain how we know, because carbon has gained oxygen to form carbon dioxide. Last question wants us to calculate the empirical formula. So titanium was analysed, and it contained 12 grams of titanium. So there's my titanium. and I've got 12 grams of titanium and 8 grams of oxygen. So let's put oxygen and put 8 grams of that. MR for titanium is 48 and the oxygen is 16. So what I need to do now is use the Mr. Moles to help me work this out. So I've got the mass and I've got the MR, so I can find out the moles. So the moles is going to be, in this first case, 12 divided by 48 is 0.25, and then I've got 8 divided by 16 is 0.5. Okay, then to work out the ratio, we are going to divide by the smallest number. So smallest number in this case is this number. So that divided by itself is going to be 1, and 0.25 divided by that is going to be 2. So my ratio is titanium gets a number 1, oxygen gets a number 2. So TiO2. Marks wise, there's 3 marks available, so you get 1 mark for your final answer, 1 mark for getting your ratio here, and 1 mark for working out the number of moles correctly in the calculation.